Hi, I'm Luke Lin, and this is Cien News, bringing you the latest news from schools in彰化County, Taiwan. Let's go ahead and get started. First up, the Cien Junior High and Elementary School in彰化City is trying to expose their students to more English speakers by encouraging them to show with international volunteers their talents through video conferencing. Last month, students from several classes were introduced to our American volunteer Linda Early via Skype. Linda is from the state of Colorado. She began to help students in彰化learn English more than a year ago. Students at Cien have really enjoyed talking to this kind and friendly volunteer. During their recent Skype sessions, some students danced to pop songs for Linda, who in her 20s were a dance captain herself, working for the nonprofit organization Up With People. Other students introduced the Chinese yo-yo to her and performed amazing tricks in front of the webcam. Still other students showed off their skateboarding skills in the classroom. Of all the performances, Linda was most impressed with the dances choreographed by the students themselves. Their fast and creative moves energized everyone in the classroom. It must have taken a lot of dedication and hard work for them to work smoothly together. Watching them dance brought back fond memories for Linda of dancing and singing in so many concerts in many different countries when she was traveling Up With People. She said that she would love to visit the students here and dance with them someday. Would definitely give her a warm welcome if she were to come here to Taiwan. Next, I'd like to introduce to you George Schultz, the Regional English Language Officer in Seoul, South Korea. He works for the U.S. State Department and is currently responsible for promoting and enhancing the teaching and learning of American English in Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. On May 10th, Mr. Schultz and Ms. Ray Xiang Wang, the Cultural Affairs Specialist working for American Institute in Taiwan, visited with彰化County government officials. They were here to get to know more about the English educational system in彰化County. On top of that, they discussed the English Language Fellow Program, a wonderful program that aims to enhance teachers' English teaching capacities, provide people around the world with the English communication skills they need to fully participate in the global society, broaden foreign teachers and the students' perspectives on international issues, and advanced the larger goal of reaching mutual understanding among nations. Last December, the彰化International Education and the English Teaching Resource Center applied to the AIT for ELFP assistance, and the proposal was approved. A representative from ELFP is scheduled to come to彰化County in August, and will be stationed in the center to provide higher quality training opportunities for English teachers here and to create teaching and learning resources for all people in彰化to use. During Mr. Shou's stay here, he also talked to Mr. Sheng Bin Xiao, the principal of Chaoxin Elementary School, where the彰化International Education and English Teaching Resource Center is located. Then he visited Ms. Chen, the Director of Education Department. She expressed her sincere gratitude to Mr. Schultz and talked about her expectations for the ELFP. To help our viewers know more about Mr. Schultz's work and his opinions on other issues, I sat down with him in the Director of Education's office and I asked him to share his ideas with us. Let's watch. George, could you tell me something about what you do as the Regional English Language Officer in Seoul?
Well, thank you, Luke. It's a pleasure to be here. What I do as a Regional English Language Officer, I'm based in Seoul, Korea, but my work is in Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. So it's a pleasure to be here today with you to talk about English language education, cultural exchanges, and ways we can learn from each other. My job involves language teaching. I work with teachers, teacher trainers, departments of education. and my goal is the same goal as the departments, the teachers, is to improve English language teaching and learning by the students.
Thanks. So what countries have you been to before?
I've been teaching English for a long time. I've worked basically probably 10 years in Asia, 4 to 6 years in the Middle East, 4 or 5 years in Africa. So Africa, Middle East, and Asia would be my 3 areas where I've had some exposure to language teaching and learning, both at the classroom level and at the ministry level. It's all been interesting. It's all been very different, but the major goals are always the same: to improve English language education and to increase cultural understanding, to learn more about American education, to expand knowledge of the United States through connections like yours, Culture Connect, to American schools and students.
So as a world traveler, could you tell students the importance of cultural and language exchanges?
Very important. I think it's important because of the globalization people talk about. It's also important because it's localized. You really need both. The importance of language linked to culture is a worldwide necessity, not only for jobs, but for understanding. The major experience, of course, is simply getting to know other people and being comfortable with social interaction and ways to improve your, your connectivity with other people.
Yes. People or students in Changhua area don't have many opportunities to talk to native speakers of English. So sometimes students don't have the motivation to study English harder. So what's your idea about how to help them with their spoken English?
Well, 2 very short answers are: don't be shy, and some people say don't just sit there. I think the work Culture Connect does, the Ministry of Education here does, to bring students together virtually through Skype, through social media, is important. The other bit of advice I would have is don't be afraid to have errors in your English. Many students I know are very nervous about that. If people don't understand, they'll simply ask you to repeat. It's not a problem. When I'm learning a language, I force myself to speak and to use language and learn from my interactions. So there's many opportunities now, especially with the internet and Skyping, as you pointed out, chatting with schools and people of your own age cohort.
Since 2011, many schools in Changhua are trying to make global connections using Skype, and we are very thankful that we have about 20 American volunteers who help talk to classrooms in Taiwan. And during the Skype sessions, students were very excited to present Taiwanese culture to volunteers. And the volunteers in the US get to know more about Taiwanese culture. So like you say, it's a win-win situation. So I'm wondering if it's possible for you to help spread the message that Changhua County needs more volunteers from the US.
I can certainly work with the public diplomacy section here at AIT and work with you all and the Changhua Ministry of Education. But most of all, it depends on the students and the teachers and their motivations and inspirations to not only deliver a message of taking Changhua outside, but also bringing the world to Changhua County.
Thank you so much. And so, do you have anything to recommend to the Changhua County government when it comes to improving its English education?
I would just say keep up the good work. many decisions have to be made given budgets and ideas, and I think the outreach based upon the County Board of Education and yourselves is very exemplary. It provides a good example for other schools in other regions to, how do you say, support a win-win situation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
I think Changhua County government is looking forward to working with you in the future.
Great.
Thank you.
Please feel free to contact us at the public diplomacy group at AIT, and we'll be more than happy to meet and discuss and learn more.
We're looking forward to working with Mr. Schultz and the ELFP representative who is expected to arrive in August. With their help, we'll be able to provide a better English education to students across the county. Next is a follow-up report on the drama tour that we mentioned in our previous newscast. The International Story Weavers had 4 amazing performances at Taiping Elementary, Ximin Elementary, and Chaoxin Elementary. Their play is based on The Golden Goose, a well-known fairy tale collected by the brothers Grimm. The hero of the story is the youngest of 3 brothers named Fitz. He generously shares his food with the person he meets in the forest and is rewarded with a golden goose. The special goose has magic power. Anyone who tries to get gold from the goose becomes stuck to it, literally. There is a long line of people who get stuck to the goose when Fitz is making his way to the castle where the king and the princess live. The princess, who has never smiled, bursts out laughing when she sees this hilarious scene. At the end of the play, he wins the princess's heart and they live happily ever after. During the performances, the language barrier issue didn't seem to be a problem. The colorful costumes and props, the actors' excellent use of body language, and the interactive nature of the play itself all helped students to understand the message of the play. To many teachers' surprise, when the performers asked students some questions about the play, they had no trouble answering them correctly. Undoubtedly, the tour was a big success. In each of the 4 performances, the auditorium was filled with laughter. The 5 performers' acting and dancing skills completely captured the audience's attention. The younger students simply couldn't take their eyes off them, even though they were listening to something said in a language they were not familiar with. Besides giving students a great opportunity to learn English and enjoy the fun of theater, the play also taught students an important message. That is, good-hearted people are rewarded for their good nature. We really appreciate the kindness of these 5 good-hearted performers and all those who made the tour possible. We hope that the Changhua International Education and the English Teaching Resource Center will organize events like this next semester. Now we leave you with some highlights of the play. Until next time, goodbye.
Once upon a time, I was a pirate in my mind, and you were the damsel in distress. But you made your escape when I choked upon the grape and flew